Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Bitcoin Trade. This is going to be the Washington DC Bitcoin Trade. This is the archives of the United States of America. I wanted to, for the most part, what I wanted to do was I wanted to see the actual documents. And I have to admit, it's been a long time since I've seen them. So I want to let you know I'm all real. I was here. And I'm a little surprised. The documents, they're fading. The ink is fading from, I'm not sure if that's paper or animal skin or whatever, but it's fading. And that means something. That means your rights are fading. That's what I see. Of course, you don't think your rights are fading, and most likely they're not. I mean, it's written down somewhere. Someone has a copy, but the actual original, it's fading, and it almost seems like when that fades, so will your rights. So will the actual fundamental rights, absolute rights of every citizen in America will fade with it. So exercise it, proclaim it, declare it before it disappears forever. That's what I'm seeing, and I'm not even sure if that's what's really happening or not, but go see for yourself, and you'll see that it's disappearing slowly but surely, fading away, and it's up to you. The power is within you to empower yourself and to preserve what is absolutely yours. Anyways, I'm going to go to a different monument, and I'll cut in and cut out. But this is the Washington, D.C. Bitcoin episode. Alright everyone, here's a little map of the area, and I'm right here. Or I was right here. So there I was. I'm right here. Right here. And I'm going to make my way. As you can see, there's the IRS. There's the archives. It's a Federal Trade Commission, FBI building. It's all right here. Look at that. They're all right here. I want to let you know I just came to say hi. I'm visiting, and I have every right to be here. So, anyways, I'll cut in and cut out. But I'm headed to the Lincoln Monument now. So it's a long walk this way. Hello everyone, and welcome back. And I'm at the Lincoln Monument. Walked by all the other stuff, but this is what I wanted to see. And let me see what's gonna happen. All right, I made it. It was a long freaking walk. There it is. I went to the land of Abraham. Now I visit the monument. There you go, everyone. It's kind of interesting the way it's set up. If you look out there, Lincoln faces the obelisk, Congress back there, and you see the reflection. That's what he's facing. And so there you go. I'm gonna have to, I mentioned it before, but I'm gonna say it now. I will be in Washington, D.C., and I will lobby for myself, and that's where I need to go. Man, that was a long journey to find that out. Anyways, I'm exhausted. I walked all the way from way over there to way over here. And the physical world really exhausts you. Anyways, this is the end of this episode. This is all I came here to do. I'm cutting out. Hello everyone, welcome back to this episode of Bitcoin Trade. This is going to be the Washington Bitcoin trade. Unfortunately, I left Washington. Uh, my experience in Washington was very illuminating. Um, anyways, let me start off with this since I was just in Washington D.C. Um, Met with a few attorneys there and discussed some possibilities of uh, trading in Washington D.C. And not only trading in Washington D.C. but also starting a PAC and also a nonprofit. I want to do my own thing, you know. And also, I did mention this before, but I want to lobby for myself. And so had some discussions there. I don't know, my experience is, I've been in Chicago, I've been to New York, I've been in California. Of course, I'm in Houston, and each legal professional that I talked to seemed to be absolutely, for the most part, clueless about what's going on with Bitcoins. When I approach them, they often don't know what to think or don't even want to get involved because they don't even know the laws or the guidelines involved with cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin in particular. And so I kind of feel like I should be charging them on a per hour basis instead of them trying to charge me on a per hour basis. After all, I mean, I, I I didn't go to no damn law school, but I know enough to know that I can do this, whatever that I'm doing with Bitcoin. I know I can do it. Um, so, anyways, I guess not only do lawmakers need an education, but also the attorneys and lawyers also need an education. So, but I want to go over this article here, and I think this is a great idea. And this is the Chamber of Digital Commerce. Would like some volunteers, and if you all can make it, go ahead. And there is a link to the website. Let me see right here, which I'll make a link to. I'll follow it. And I think it's a great idea. I wish I can go, but I just came back from Washington, D.C. And I don't think you really want me to be there, Mrs. Boring, or Miss Boring. I could probably explain enough, and then some more about what I think about Bitcoins. But I think some of my views would, I don't want to spoil your party because this is going to be my party. But, I'll be headed to Washington, D.C., and I'm going to lobby for myself. I'm planning on meeting every representative, even the president if I can, even the vice president. I mean, after all, they do work for me, I'm assuming. I do pay my taxes. Anyways, this is a great article. If anybody else can make it there who could maybe be more moderate about explaining Bitcoins, I would highly recommend that you go. I wish I could go, but I just came back from there and the timing's not right, and I don't think I'm the right person to go and speak about Bitcoins, either the blockchain technology or the virtual currency. Like I said, I don't want to spoil your party because I'm gonna have my own party here. So, anyways, I think I think education is highly needed among anybody and everybody, because not even the attorneys that I speak to understand what Bitcoin is. Literally, I have to educate some of these attorneys, and I have to educate them in a way that there's existing laws which apply to transactions in Bitcoins and the use of Bitcoins, and some recent guidelines that came out that explain how to use Bitcoins in either a pack, in trade, or in use. And I have to admit, some of these attorneys, they are well, they're pretty damn behind the times. I was gonna say ignorant, but I don't want to be too harsh. After all, it's so new, and some of the things that I'm doing with Bitcoin and the blockchain, and how I use the blockchain, and how I trade, and how I use the current legal system, and the guidelines. It's so new and so radical for these people that I should be charging you guys. I should be charging you, all right, on an hourly basis. Really, I don't give free consulting, okay, and also I don't reveal my trade secret to people who are not going to be working with me. So if you're lucky enough to be a partial witness in the things that I do, consider yourself fortunate. So, anyways, I just want to talk about this briefly, because this is the Washington D.C. episode. I was just there, so let me go to a chart here, and I'll start talking about my experience in Washington D.C. and then get on to a chart analysis. All right, so let me see here. I'm back in Houston. I'm home sweet home. I got an interesting story about how I came home too. But let's start with Washington D.C. And as you see in my videos, I mentioned how the Constitution is fading, is being eroded away, and I mean literally. If you haven't gone to the archive, I would say go there, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution itself, and the Bill of Rights are literally being eroded, and it's been eroded for 200 years now. And I mean that literally and metaphorically and figuratively. So your rights are literally disappearing, fading away. Literally, okay, and also the other literally. Your rights are being taken away, slowly but surely. A 200-year process, and it's showing up in the actual Constitution. It is literally fading away. And I don't know what to say. I went to Washington D.C. for two things only. I wasn't going to go there to protest or anything like that, or to lobby yet. I went there for two reasons, actually three reasons, but two of the reasons were I wanted to see the archive. I wanted to go to the archive, and I wanted to see the actual documents, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights. I wanted to see those specifically, and I want to be a witness to it. And what I witnessed was pretty shocking. What I saw was the erosion, or the fading away, or the disappearance of your rights right in front of your eyes, right in your face, literally. And so I I'd have to say, and this may alarm some of you, and this may not, that what's going on is basically there'll come a time where uh, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence will not be there anymore. All you're going to see is a blank page, and you'll have nothing. And I would have to say time is running out. And I mean, literally for the documents itself, and for your rights as well, and any memory you have of it. So if you're not familiar with it, if you're not exercising it, and if you're not using it, I would say you have literally already lost it. And so I believe in the future there will come a time where there will be no Constitution. There will be no Bill of Rights. There will be no Declaration of Independence. And for those who, well, put it this way, it only would exist for those who are using it, are exercising it, and those who remember it. Everybody else has forfeited their rights. Their absolute rights. You all forfeited it. And so that's just what I see anyway. And 200 years has gone by. Anybody notice the difference in change and in your rights in the past 200 years? Have you noticed it fading away, being eroded? Well, it kind of shows up in the archives as well. It's being eroded, fading away, and that's what I was trying to say. There's something to it. The actual documents are literally fading away and being eroded, and at the same time, your absolute rights right now are fading away and being eroded. It actually literally shows in the documents. So that's just my warning to all of you and any future generation, your sons and daughters. Teach them well while you all can remember, and exercise it, use it, remember it, because it's literally those documents is what gives me the right to do everything that I do. Also Bitcoin trades, how I trade, when I trade, what I trade, just about everything. So if you're all wondering how am I doing all this, well, it's the Constitution and the Bill of Rights for the most part. That's how I'm doing it. Take time to read it while it's still around. Follow the instructions, and my belief is that they'll lead you to the Creator. And so it's one of those things where it's if you just follow the instructions, it's right in front of your face, hidden in plain sight. I'll say it again. Follow the instructions. It's right in front of your face, hidden in plain sight. Alright? So, anyways, So I went to the archives, and that was one of the places I wanted to go to, and I wanted to bear witness and testify to that, and I just did. And then the second place I wanted to go to specifically was the Lincoln Monument. And so as I went there, you can see in the video that it's pretty big, very impressive. And if you know why I went to the Lincoln Monument, you know from my previous episode, the land of Abraham is very important. That's one of the reasons I guess I ended up in Chicago. I had to go to the land of Abraham. And so when I went to Washington, D.C., I saw the Lincoln Monument, and then just like the Statue of Liberty, Abraham Lincoln is sitting there, and he's facing the obelisk. And at first, you know, I was thinking he's also looking at the Congress as well, but you really can't see what's behind the obelisk, you know. Maybe you could see from the vantage point where Abraham Lincoln's head is, but from where you stand, you don't really see much other than the obelisk. And I started thinking about that, and I started to realize maybe he's just looking at the obelisk. And hold on here, let me pause. All right, sorry about that. I wanted to take a little break and look up obelisk here, and kind of look where it came from, and so it's kind of like an Egyptian thing, I guess. So I think there's some hidden meaning here on the whole thing, all right, where Abraham Lincoln, the monument itself, is looking at the obelisk, and the obelisk itself is a symbol, and it's obviously pointing towards the sky, and I think that's a clue. It's another clue, something to follow, something that will lead you to the Creator, right? And so that's kind of what I think it is. It's a clue to I guess, I don't know who built it. Obviously it wasn't Abraham Lincoln, but I think it's an indication of a sign, a message, a clue. Again, it's something for you to follow the instructions, and it's right in front of your face, hidden in plain sight. And I believe these are clues that will take you and lead you to the Creator. All right, and so that's kind of my point. And so let me get back here. And talk about my experience, and I think just like anything else, like Statue of Liberty, that does not face New York City but faces Brooklyn, is a clue, again, to lead you to the Creator. And then going to the Lincoln Monument, which faces the obelisk, again, as another clue that leads you to the Creator. And so if you just follow this, you may have a chance. You may have a chance of finding the Creator, or even meeting the Creator. Crazy idea? Like I said, if you ever read the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, if you can follow the instructions, and it's right in front of your face, hidden in plain sight. Um, I don't know what else to say. I guess that's all I could say. And so this is a very special episode because this is the Washington D.C. episode. And so those are the two places that I wanted to go because I really wanted to see for myself if there was anything there, and there was. I believe there was. So my experience is a little different. Maybe yours will be too, or maybe it'll be the same. I don't know. It's not the first time I went there, but it's the first time I went there looking for clues, and I believe I found them. And so, anyways, I guess you'll have to watch future episodes to see where it leads me, and where it takes me. So, anyways, let's go on to. Oh, by the way, I did enjoy Washington D.C. very much. About the city itself, of course, a lot of the buildings and monuments and the grounds are all public, and so I would encourage any able body to go there because you have every right to be there. It is literally your land. You all paid for it. You all own that, and you should have a right and access to it. So when I went there, and I'm sure some of you have, I didn't have to pay to go into the archives. I didn't have to pay to go see the monuments. All right, it's you all paid for it. So take some time to go there, and again, remember what's there before it's completely eroded. Before your rights are completely eroded, and the words on that paper completely fade away. Because I do believe there will be a day when there will be no Constitution. There will be no Bill of Rights. There will be no Declaration of Independence. Literally. It will disappear. So 200 years have gone by. I think it's only a matter of, I don't know, maybe 100 more years, maybe 50 years, maybe 25. Who knows? That's still going to be around as proof, as evidence of your absolute rights. So, anyways, that's what brings me up to this here, and I wish I could go, but I think some of my explanations are way out there for some of these representatives here to comprehend. Again, I don't want to rain on anyone else's parade, or if I rain on anyone's parade, I'd rather be my parade. But I do plan on lobbying for myself on my own behalf, and so I'll be in Washington D.C. and hopefully maybe some other time I can participate in some other way. But I think there's some other people that can do a better job than me, because I hate to ruin someone's party. So, anyways, let's go on to the chart analysis now. So, all right. So here's the chart analysis here, and I've mentioned before that it would hit it. There's a huge gap, and so this huge gap would lead to a bounce back up, and then it would probably play around here a little. It's broken down, but if you look, it's bouncing back up, and you're probably going to see this for a while, and a couple scenarios are going to happen. Okay, so if you make a line here, you'll see that it just kind of extends out. So what it'll do is it may just bounce around here and it can go sideways for a while. And probably you're looking at these two ranges here, which would be great if you know how to range trade. This is the time to do it. Typically, when you range trade, what's going to happen is it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller. So you don't want to put your buy orders or stop orders up here because most likely they'll never hit. If they do hit, by this time here, they're going to probably be back on an uptrend. And same thing for the down. If you're putting your buy orders here, they'll probably never hit, and if they do hit, they'll probably be on the downtrend here versus an uptrend when you're trying to put your sell orders up here. And so what typically happens is when it goes sideways, it bounces up, down, and gets smaller and smaller. So your best opportunity if you're going to range trade is within the 1, 2, and maybe 3 wave. Typically, but if you already missed these two, you can probably take advantage of the 3 wave here, like this way, and it typically never hits the bottom of this. So you may want to pick somewhere in between these two price areas, somewhere in the middle usually. And if you put your Fibonacci things on, that may help, but I never use them because I just think that's all full of shit. So I never use those. But you know, this is the best time to probably do a range trading strategy, because on a large move like this, you're going to see bounces up and down like this within a range. So but after that, it's going to range, it probably range for a while, go sideways, and then what's going to do is, if you put your line in, eventually over time it'll just range between these two prices here, and then once it hits this resistant line on this triangle here, it will either break up or continue going down further. No, I'm probably telling you something that you probably already know. You want to know what's it gonna do, right? Well, I don't know because I'm not a fortune teller, alright? But I can tell you the possibilities, and it's up to you to recognize the patterns in order to you know, play a trade. So this rapid downtrend following these averages here on, I think there's an estimated average, so you're seeing this following this trend, and it broke above it and it's hit this average, in which it's going to play a range. Now you got to play a different trading strategy, okay? From this shorting here, if you played the lines and the average, you probably would have noticed that it's, if it didn't hit up and it's hitting and it's going down between these 1, 2, 3 12-hour periods, you probably would have sold, realizing it's not going to, especially right here on this particular one right here, or even this one green part, you probably would have realized that it's not gonna, it's dropping in price, and you would have probably sold. That's what I did. And then after this spike down and then it hits up against this average, you'll notice that it's following this line, and you would have realized maybe this was a good chance to buy, which I did buy, and that there's a gap in here, and it would have hit up, and then after hitting here, it might range in price here. So I did all those. Alright, it's not because I can read the future or tell the future, it's that I'm able to recognize the pattern. I'm able to shift my strategy based on the price action and what it's doing. So you have to be flexible enough to change your strategy when you see the right patterns. And I'm not talking no damn head and shoulder bullshit, or the W, or whatever they, you know, whatever people come up with. I'm just talking about, just look at the damn thing and realize that not enough buyers pushing up the price, so there's might be a good chance there's going to be sellers. All right, and you're following a different strategy along with that as you're putting your what do they call them? Your 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 buy orders. Um, I guess what you call them is sell stops or buy orders. Anyways, you're putting a buy order above the spot price. So what you can do is you can follow the last highest price and just work your way down here, then here, and then here, 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 and then here, and it would have probably hit here, or if you followed it down, you would have come here or something like that. And what I'm trying to say is that if you're in a downtrend, you're putting your buy orders above the spot price at the highest points here, 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 here. Probably would have been here, which you would have hit. And then, so what you're anticipating is the down movement reversing up. So you're doing that strategy while you're seeing the patterns occur and knowing when to sell, when to buy, and then when to start range trading. In other words, sell here, buy here, sell here. So, but the range is going to get smaller. So your good chance of price movement is going to be the largest move, and then the second move right after that. And after this, it kind of gets really thin trading. What you're doing now after that is you're going to put your buy orders in or your sell orders in here, depending on where the price action goes. So if it goes down further, you've sold at a pretty good price, hoping that you can recognize again this pattern and then put in your buy orders here and then enjoy a nice spike up, and then sell, and then maybe have it go down, which is another buy. And so between these two price ranges, you know, if you look at it, let's see here, excuse me, let's see here, it's let's say 600 to, what is that, 440. So you're looking at a $240 price range. So $240 price range, and then a 243 to 540, which is $100. So just this price movement and this price movement, a potential of $300 in price movement. And so even though the prices don't go up 1,000 or go down to $50, the up and down movement is you could still make as much money as if this went to $1,000 right now, because these prices, they move up, they move down, they move up, they move down, and you realize they move pretty much like $1,000 between that time. Well, that's $1,000 of possible trades that you could have made. $1,000 worth of possible trades you could have made and gained. So you know, and that comes with experience. Okay, I wish I could just say, hey, do this, and then you all could start making money, but that's not the case. You're going to have to be immersed in your trades. You have to be immersed in Bitcoin in order to take advantage of of the gains. Again, it takes experience. I traded stocks and I traded Forex, and let me tell you, those are harder because they're rigged. The price action here is not as hard, but I don't think they're rigged, because when I put my order in, it shows up. When I put my limits, buy limits, sell limits, vice versa, it shows up. And if I can see mine, that means I also can see yours. So I think this is more of an open market, and then on top of that, ultimately what I can do is I can just take Bitcoins out and then sell them in peer to peer, using also this strategy here of when to buy, when to sell, when to buy, when to sell. So if you're all wondering how you can make money even though the price goes down, well, you can. All right, you can. based on the up and down movements, you can definitely make a gain. Or even if you made a bad trade, there's a possibility you can break even after a bad trade, so you don't take a loss. Ultimately, the gains you make, I would not recommend trying to get money out of these exchanges. I never have, and I never will, because I find more value in a peer-to-peer trade. So if you're a good enough trader to understand this, or if you already are a trader who trades, or an investor, these concepts and ideas are not new. You've probably already been doing it. And in the next few episodes, I'll get to some of the things you can do as an investor, and how you can take advantage of your gains from the trades and turning it into a real physical business. And so you're extracting value from virtual reality and converting them to the physical world, where you can actually make a physical business selling goods and services. And I would highly recommend accepting only two kind of payments. One is because you have to by law, which is legal tender, and the other one is by your free will of choice, which is Bitcoin. And if you can accept those two things, I would just say accept only those two things. Don't waste your time with a credit card. Don't waste your time with checks, money orders, none of that. I know it'll be tough, but the thing I've learned is, if you are good at investing, some of your ideas are not going to be successful when you physically make a business. They probably won't be successful the first 3 years, but if you're patient enough, and if you have a good strategy you need to have a good strategy both in trading as well as investing in virtual reality as well as the physical world. So if you have a keen sense for those things, this should not be a very difficult task for you. You should be able to start generating wealth immediately. Okay? And so I would view this kind of like an inside-out, backwards process. Typically, what someone would do was, you'd lose your job and become self-employed. And if you're successful at being self-employed, you would turn it into an actual business, which you become a business owner. After that, once you become a business owner and realize what you're really doing is investing, you become an investor. Well, this is an inside-out, backwards approach, where you're skipping getting fired, okay? You're skipping working for yourself, and then you're skipping being a business owner and going straight to investing. And then if you're good enough at investing, because it doesn't take much other than you buying a Bitcoin, and if you can take 1 Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoin, whatever you can, and you can grow that through your trading, you can do some of the things which I plan to do, which is I'm trying to build a Bitcoin ecosystem. So the gains that I make, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to buy a nice Lamborghini, a Mercedes, a second house, a third house? Well, I don't have an interest in any of that stuff, because I already have a house, and I already have a truck, and I love my truck, even though it's old and beat up and everything. The fact that with my truck, I just went all the way up to Chicago I went to New York, I went to Washington, D.C., and back up to Houston. So Houston, I made a full trip around in my truck. It has over 200,000 miles on it, and it's still going. That's why I love my truck. It pays me back. I put money into it, now I'm getting money out of it. So that's why I don't want a new car. All right, I don't. Hold on here. Oh, sorry about that. You know, babies always seem to cry for some reason. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, what you can do is, what I like to do is an inside backwards approach, as in I'm going straight to investing, and then from investing I'm becoming a business owner, and from a business owner, which is another form of investing, I'm not really going back to self-employed, but I guess I am, but I'm not going to work. Okay, I'm not going to be working for anybody. I'm not going to get fired. If I do, I'm going to fire myself. I work for myself at that point. So you gone from investing, business owner, to basically you're working for yourself. So I've gone backwards on this, which was you would say it's kind of weird, but what I've learned from virtual reality is, from an inside out way of doing things, you get a whole different perspective. You get a virtual reality perspective, and that's what I've learned from trading with virtual currency, is an inside out experience versus an outside going in experience, and that's a major difference. And so hopefully this has helped some of you. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe it's just more confusing. In any case, I think I talked long enough. I hope this helps some of you, at least, to do your trading. And if most of you are just wasting your money on the trades that you make, on the money that you made, then basically you're no better than if you just gone and basically worked for somebody, or being self-employed. You haven't figured out the power of investing and how that translates into exponential wealth. So if you can figure out that point of investing, going backwards, inside out backwards, I think I said, where you become an investor, a business owner, and then you become self-employed, I think that's a totally different perspective. And not only is it, for me, it's a positive wealth feedback. In other words, doing it this way, you're not trying to take money from a community, you're putting money into a community, if that makes sense. So instead of going somewhere like, I'll give you an example, like a Walmart, what they do is they go in, they lower the price, they kill all the mom and pop stores. That's a negative feedback, right? A negative wealth feedback, in my opinion. Where some of the things that I'm doing, again, is the opposite of what a Walmart would do, right? I am putting money into a community versus taking money out. So that's a major difference, I think, with Bitcoin trading versus some of the traditional investing that people have done. Big difference. And that's why Bitcoin trading has changed my life. Because I'll tell you, I traded stocks, that's never changed my life. I traded Forex, that's never changed my life. I've invested in property, real estate, that's benefited me, but has not changed my life. And then until I got to Bitcoins, very different. I would encourage all of you to try this approach. And again, if you do this and you understand what it is, it will lead you to the Creator. I know that sounds crazy, but give it a shot. I mean, you may be blown away, and your life may be changed. Anyways, feel free to comment, like, dislike, also leave a video response. Until next time, stay tuned.